got to get that temperatures hot. Now they're talking thermophilic compost. We talk a lot about not taking it to the extreme temperatures and not knocking the biology back. How do you feel about that?
Um, it's 131 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the uh, cutting point. For below that, you're not getting rid of the disease-causing organisms. If you hit 131 Fahrenheit, then you're gonna be killing most of the disease causers. But it's got to be hot enough, long enough for a full 3 days. You must be above 131. If at any time the um, temperature um, in your
Compost.
thermal compost, thank you, um, thermal compost, um, we want to we want to have that temperature up high enough, long enough, so that you can be assured that the disease-causing fungi and the disease-causing bacteria, protozoa, nematodes have all been dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you want to turn it at that point. So now you're getting the hot inside moved to the top. What was in the well, the turning is got to be done properly, and then you have to get to above 131 degrees Fahrenheit for a full 3 days for a second time.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to reach those temperatures. If at any time you drop below 131, you're you need to run out and get some blood meal really fast and dig down into the middle of your pile and put out a couple of handfuls of blood meal into your, and that usually does the trick because it just drives me nuts. I'm only 3 hours short of having perfectly good compost. What can I do to keep it up there? Okay, so that works. And then you've got to change your recipe for your next pile because you
Mm-hmm.
better put in that additional nitrogen. So yeah, it's with thermal materials, does it hurt things too much if you get really hot? So let's say you get up to 170 degrees Fahrenheit. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you only have to have it up at that temperature for a very short period of time. It's not dropping into my brain what that is, but it needs to be held at that level. If you leave it too long, because the organisms are growing so fast and they're utilizing so much oxygen to keep the temperature up at 170, 171, something in there. See, 71. That's why I chose that. Um, birthday party time. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
so you have to make certain that you turn right on time because
Mm-hmm.
otherwise it goes anaerobic. Um, Alcohols are only produced under anaerobic conditions. And now you've got something that if it reaches 180 degrees Fahrenheit, that alcohol is going to burst into flames. And
Mm-hmm.
from then on is a really horrific scene because how many people have the ability to put out a fire in their backyard or in their barn or wherever they are? Most of them lose a significant amount of equipment, or
Yeah.
yeah, there are definitely problems. So try to keep it down to lower levels. Yeah, so hot enough, long enough, get your recipe right.
Yeah, which really answers the next question as well. So anaerobic teas are bad, and you basically just answered that question.
As well as it's the anaerobic organisms that are the diseases and the pests and the problem organisms. Yeah, there's a few that are like wimpy diseases. They form little dots all over your flower petals, or the stem of your roses are all anthraquenosed out, and you, but they're not going to kill your plant. So, really, are they disease causers? Not
Mhm.
really. They're just not something that you want on your treasured roses because then they
Yeah.
don't look that what you want them to look like.
And we want pretty roses, damn it. Come on.
No, yeah.
It's
And,
Isn't that
for your
good?
birthday.
no dots.
Yeah.
Where the
Elaine,
roses were they?
I just want to make sure that you're not totally opposed to EM1 or a well-designed fermented plant extract
You
necessarily.
you have to know why those things work. And so if you're going to be going after the pests and the diseases and those things, it may not do you much good to make something that's anaerobic. Well, if there's some really toxic chemicals being produced by that anaerobic brew, and now you put that into your compost pile, yeah, you'll kill some things, but now you've got to deal with the fact that that's a toxic chemical.
Mhm.
And I'm not really too interested in putting that next to my lettuce. Thank you.
Why not? I mean, come on. What harm could it actually do?
Absolutely. Other than you end up throwing up all night.
Yeah.
Hey, it
Oh,
happens
I
every
went to
once in a
Mexico and I
while.
drank the water. Whoops.
So
So
just
I'm not even going to
know
try to pronounce this, Elaine. So if you want to look at the screen,
Acetobacter aceti usage in composting. Uh, I I guess I haven't kept up on reading on this thing, but I don't. Why would you put in um, something that? Yeah, I don't really know what its uses for. So I'd have to go looking in Google and copy the Acetobacter aceti and do some reading. So that's guess what I'm going to be doing as soon as I get off.
You're going to
no,
your
you're going
birthday
to be
party
having
first.
cake.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, cake first. So another one from Ghetto is I'm using spent mushroom substrate. It's beneficial for fungal composting.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yes.
It's a really woody material, so I would put it in as woody. It's the wider C to N ratios that will grow some really good fungi. Now, you want to be a little bit careful and make sure that it's not, um, like growing some disease causing materials because it's been sitting out in a pile in the middle of the forest and nobody's done anything with it for the last 3 months. And
Mhm.
oh, you could be growing some really interesting anaerobic material there. So know what you're putting out. This is why you use a microscope so you can see what's there and know that looks pretty good. Or, whoa, I don't think I'll put that
Whoops.
next to any of my plants.
And that's the key is using the microscope so you actually can see what's there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Would would mushroom substrate add carbon in a form that would be readily uptaken by plants?
No.
Okay, that was a quick answer.
Well, it was a nice specific question, and it's yeah. There are other things that are going to produce materials that are uptakeable by a plant, and
Mhm.
just fungi chowing on it. No, no, it'd have to be
Okay,
invoking enzymes of some kind.
okay, and then our Pseudomonas amoebus.
Pseudomonas is a genus of bacteria. Amoebae are a broad group within the protozoans. So amoebae eat bacteria, and
Okay,
so they are really good in the control of the getting having enough of the bacteria, but not too much.
Okay. And then Peter Cactus wants to know, where does the pollution go after the mushroom? Poof, it's gone?
No, because the fungus is taking the different parts of that chemical apart and redirecting it into not toxic materials. So that whatever that sequence of nitrogen, phosphorus, sodium, potassium, all of those things, they're all chewed up and reconsigned.
So really that's probably the same answer for this question. Hemp removes heavy metals from the soil. Where does the hemp go? Is it being broken down?
Yep, in this case, it's being broken down so that the uh, the carbon in the hemp will be put into the structure of the body of the fungus